A jab punch is a relatively easy technique. Despite being easy, it is quite a useful one. In fact, it is one of the most frequently used techniques for someone who is good with their hands. And there are certainly more than one way to do this punch. Let's just stick to the simple and the most common way of doing it, where you turn your fist as you extend your hand. I'm gonna tell you a secret. If you add a slight twist of your hip and your lead foot, you're gonna gain extra power and extra reach. See for yourself, stand up, extend your arm and add that little twist of your hip and foot. It's gonna add that extra reach and you will see how. Sure, it only adds maybe half an inch or so, but sometimes that is all you need to connect. Very important, try not to tense your striking arm up, because if you do so, that's gonna be equivalent of trying to drive a car with your brakes on. Yeah, not gonna happen. Instead, relax the fist and let it open just a little bit. When you strike with a relaxed fist, it's gonna tighten up right before the impact on its own. Executing it this way, you're gonna have a very quick and effortless jab punch. One of the best uses for jab punch is to measure your distance between you and your opponent so that you know it at all times. It is also a great tool to keep your opponent away from you. Every time they try to come in, you just throw a quick jab punch and you're gonna keep them away. One way to learn is to learn from experts. So watch boxing matches. There's one boxer in particular who has a lightning fast jab cross combination. He's like a surgeon who operates on his opponent by throwing incredibly fast and accurate jab punch combinations. Now is when it all starts connecting. Remember the footwork from our last lecture? Well, once you get good at a jab punch, try to implementing some of it. For example, add a forward step each time you throw a jab. This is great for offensive action when you're trying to keep your opponent away from you. Remember, when you do a forward step, your front foot steps forward first, then you follow up with a rear one. Now try adding the backwards or retreating step with a jab punch. This is great against someone who keeps trying to get in your face, so you use your jab to keep them away and maybe even connect some of them at the same time. Again, you gotta practice this punch a lot of times. Once you can do it 100 times with each hand non-stop, with no hesitations or reservations or thinking or any of it, then you can move on to our next technique, which is cross punch. For now, I'm leaving you at your training and wishing you good jabbing.